ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the Florida Academy Cup Series. I'm your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we've got a new face coming to the Rebel Racing Network family. He'll be joining my booth, joining me in the booth tonight, Timothy Perkowski. Tim, go ahead and say hello to the fans.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Happy to be here. Happy to bring a little bit of short track knowledge here to the big speedway here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
All right, and we are glad to have you on our team here tonight. And go ahead and let everyone know where that short track knowledge comes from.
So I'm fortunate that for the last 6 years, I have been working at Stafford Motor Speedway in Stafford Springs, Connecticut. I do in-race commentating and pit lane reporting. And so, you know, we've been fortunate to have a lot of really important drivers come out of New England and northeast part here of the country, mostly specializing in the open wheel modifieds, but we like fendered cars as well for sure.
All right, so going to be a little bit of a game changer here. We got the fender cars and a large track. We are coming to you live tonight from the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a 2.5-mile quad oval located in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's a tongue twister there. But these drivers will be competing for 80 laps tonight. The weather tonight, it is 71 degrees, clear skies. The track temperature sitting at 95 degrees, but not a lot of banking here. So I'm expecting to see some of these guys using up their tires here early on in these runs.
Yeah, absolutely, Austin. And the other thing to keep in mind, too, is that Indianapolis Motor Speedway is notoriously difficult for passing. So we're going to see what these drivers have in their back pockets tonight to try to get it done. Certainly those long straightaways give you opportunities to really try to build a run, but you got to be careful going into the flat banking there and those 4 equal turns because it could lead to some chaos.
Yeah, and you just saw it there on the broadcast. Chaos looked like in the backstretch there. But the rules for tonight's event, these drivers are going to be given 4 sets of tires, 60% fuel, and no quick repairs to get this one done. And we had to remind the league owner, Tyler Green, about the no quick repairs rule. It was almost set to unlimited, which would have made this one really interesting. But with that 60% fuel, the pit window looking to be about 20 to 25 laps here tonight. And it is going to be close. I'm expecting to see a lot of fuel saving to start this one out because we do have stage breaks at lap 25 and 50. So you can potentially stretch out that fuel run to make it to the end of stage 1. And based on some of what I've been seeing out here, I think we're going to see some cautions to help these drivers save on fuel as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 2.5 miles around the track is definitely a long distance. And 25 laps is going to chew that fuel up pretty significantly and pretty early if you go too hard, too fast. So strategy is definitely going to play a role in this race. Like you said, 2 25-lap stages before we finish the race out. And it'll be interesting to see how these drivers manage what they have out there tonight.
Yeah, and we do have some rivalries heating up here as well. So we do have a couple of rivalries spilling over from the last couple weeks. I know, Tim, you haven't been around to see it, but Rhodes and Smith, Christian Rhodes and Richard Smith have had run-ins at Dover. We'll be keeping an eye on that tonight. And then Storm Strube has also had some run-ins. He has yet to finish a race in that T-Mobile car. But looks like he has had some run-ins with Daniel Holloway, and I guess they've been going at it all week. And then Tyler Hurt and Eric L'Oreal, the 18 and the 41, have had an issue 2 weeks ago at Nashville, and L'Oreal is making his return here tonight. So we could possibly see some fireworks if these those drivers get together on track. But speaking of drivers coming back, we do have an update. Brian Macklin is going to miss tonight's race, unfortunately. Not going to be able to make it tonight. Not sure what the reason is, but he is going to be out, and that's going to be frustrating for him because he just crawled his way up to 4th in the point standings, climbing 14 positions last week. But we do have an update on points. Al Lykin still leading the points race with 187 points. Jeremiah Nelson with 176 points in second. Dylan Picklesheimer is third in points with 170 points. Brian Macklin up to 4th with 130 points. And Trevor Quisenberry sitting in 5th with 129 points. So this points race still very tight for these drivers as they get ready to get qualifying underway.
Yeah, absolutely, and a lot of this has to do with longevity. So your point about Brian Macklin missing tonight is going to be significant. That being said, it's as we've seen, making the starts is really critical, but having the good finishes is really what makes the difference out there.
Yeah. The good finishes and consistent finishes are what's going to be important here. And we've seen some guys be very consistent. Al Likens in that 20 machine has been consistent all season long and has already got 3 wins under his belt. He's going to be looking to do it again tonight. But just before practice ended, I did not see him at the top of the leaderboard. So that'll be something to keep an eye on with him. And we do have a special treat for you. Eric Rodman is on track. And I know the Wicked Pub fan base has been waiting to see that car. Rodman trading in the My World of Whiskey paint scheme for a Wicked Pub paint scheme. And if you guys look very closely at this car, it is inspired by the probably millions of $1 bills hanging on the wall at the Wicked Pub. I was told this scheme was custom made. As we look at his hood, you can see there are names of the drivers and writing on those dollar bills on his paint scheme. So Rodman looks like he is completing his first lap now. Update, Seth LaCroix on track for qualifying as well. LaCroix currently sitting in the pole position. And he was very fast in practice. He was a top 3 car throughout practice, looking to carry that speed over to qualifying. And for those of you that tune into our Sunday night broadcast, Seth LaCroix dealing with a little bit of frustration after the ARA season ended Sunday night. Dawson Price took the championship. Seth LaCroix finishing second in the points race over there. As his second lap comes to a close, and he's going to beat out Dylan Picklesheimer by about 1/10 of a second. And then some more updates for you guys. Tyler Green has also fallen out of the top 5. He was looking consistent through the first 5 races this season. It was the first non-slightly dangerous racing driver in points. He falls out of that position, though, this week. But slightly dangerous racing, still the top of the leaderboard, taking those top 3 spots. And they have swept the series so far, taking home every win this season. So the big question tonight is, can a non-SDR driver steal a win here tonight at Indy? And an update for you fans at the Wicked Pub. Corey Rainey in that 4 car. His first lap good enough to take second. And he's looking for a strong second lap. Only about 5/100ths of a second off the pace of Seth LaCroix.
Yeah, and that 5/100ths is really almost nothing on the track. Could be just a slight little bobble. Could be just taking your arc or your line coming in or out of the turn ever so slightly. We'll see if he can get it straightened out here in the second lap, get a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the lap times here, and it looks like just about everyone's second lap is quicker than the first. So we'll see what Corey Rainey can do after getting some heat in those tires. And it looks like he's not going to be able to take away the pole position as his second lap time comes in at 51:50. And we're going to go ahead and head down track side to take a look at our starting grid. I tell you what, Tim, have you done any of the starting grids over there at Stafford?
Actually, I have.
All right. You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. Let me just get the right look here. New to the software and everything like that, so getting this all figured out is step one for me. Hey, why don't you get us started here, if you don't mind, and then from there I can maybe take over out here after just a couple drivers.
All right, I got you. I was really just trying to save my breath here because I run out of breath every week doing this. And we got a full field yet again here. But taking the pole will be Seth LaCroix driving the number 89 machine. To his outside in second will be Corey Rainey driving the number 4. Rolling off third will be Dylan Picklesheimer driving the number 23. Daniel Holloway will start fourth in the 21 machine. Trevor Quisenberry going to be rolling off fifth in the 24. Dawson Price to the outside of row 3 starting sixth driving the number 71. And seventh, we have Al Likens driving the number 20 machine. Jeremiah Nelson will roll off eighth, driving the number 46. Trevor Yates will start ninth, driving the number 10 machine. In 10th, we have Tyler Hurt driving the number 18. And starting to the inside. Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead. No, I was going to say inside of row 6 is going to be Nicholas Warner in the 11th position, followed by Stephen Alessi in 12th. Storm Strubby, who we talked about just a little bit earlier, going to be starting 13th, followed by who's that? I got it blocked here. We got Christian. Let's see.
Christian Rhodes will be starting 14th here tonight.
Christian Rhodes, that's right. Yep, absolutely. You mentioned him a little bit earlier as well.
Yep. Starting 15th will be Corey Yoakum in the number 5 machine. Eric Rodeman will start to his outside in 16th, driving the number 96. Dave Mayberry will roll off 17th, driving the number 29 machine. 18th will be Richard Smith II, driving the number 2. In 19th, we have Mike Hill driving the number 27. Jason Werbesquez will start 20th, driving the number 67. In 21st, we have Rob Robertson driving the number 33 car. Chet Sellers will start 22nd, driving the number 9. Madeline Jackson will roll off 23rd in the 88 machine. 24th will be Dalton Gregson driving the number 28. And starting 25th will be Eric L'Oreal driving the number 41. To his outside in 26 will be Thomas Lavierde driving the number 54. And rounding out your field in 27th will be Tyler Green in the 77 machine. So they make their way down the back stretch. So a big shout out, Seth LaCroix, taking our Vermont Diecast Pole Position Award. Vermont Diecast, the best diecast store on Whatnot, will be awarding $5 to Seth LaCroix tonight.
Yeah, we can see the cars doubled up here, taking a couple of pace laps, trying to get their anxiety and their nerves out of the way. Just an opportunity to warm the car up a little bit, warm up those tires, and man, we're gonna have some hot racing tonight.
Yes, we are. Now, you watched a little bit of practice. Did anyone stick out to you in practice?
I got to say that LaCroix car definitely stood out to me. I mean, starting on the pole definitely is a big deal for Seth LaCroix. But, you know, the idea of Corey Rainey on the outside pole, I know he just came up just a little bit short of actually taking that pole position. But if you can start up front and have good track position here at this track, you really put yourself in a good spot.
Yep, and they are side by side as that green flag waves, and they race off down into turn 1. Corey Rainey getting a strong run to the outside. I think he and Seth LaCroix might have touched there.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of contact. No harm, no foul at this point. See if they can, get settled in here for the first few laps. And we see 2 wide and 3 wide heading down the backstretch. It's definitely some exciting racing going on.
Yep, the top 3 getting single file here pretty quickly, and it looks like Eric L'Oreal may have had an issue here. He's being shown on pit road. And just an update in the chat. I didn't forget about you guys. Joseph Lewis saying Picklesheimer starting his not a Picklesheimer fan. Threw up in his mouth a little bit. Picklesheimer starting on that outside. I'm gonna ignore that, Joseph. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying now. I read that wrong.
Yeah, heading down through turn number 2. We'll see how they navigate this back here. You see a lot of fanning out, a lot of jockeying for position, trying to get themselves with a little bit of a run. Like we said, there's not a whole lot of ability to pass on this track. It's really difficult, especially with the speed of these cars. But we do see a move to the outside right now, trying to take the top spot for Corey Rainey.
Yep, that's actually Seth LaCroix went to the outside, and looks like LaCroix is going to get by Rainey. And that's opened up the door for Picklesheimer as well. So Picklesheimer going to move to second. Corey Rainey dropping to third. And here comes Dawson Price. He's going to get by him as well. And right now I can hear a collective groan from the Wicked Pub down there in Fort Myers, Florida. So, and just an update for you, Tim. I know we didn't really get to cover that pre-race, but if Corey Rainey wins a stage or the race, the bar gets around over at the Wicked Pub. So he's got a lot of fans in the chat tonight and around the bar, hoping he at least gets a stage win.
Well, it's hard to not be a fan up here in the booth, but how can you not pull for something like that for all those folks down there?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we've joked a lot in the past about the broadcaster's curse. It seems like whenever, I go to someone, I'm talking about someone, or I say they're one to watch out for, that's normally when trouble finds them. So I don't know if I'm safe down there in the Wicked Pub right now, because I've definitely jinxed Corey Rainey a couple times already.
Maybe you best turn your attention to someone else on the track then, so you don't have a lot of people really upset with you.
Yep, I definitely think that would be best. We are single file, but I do see in the back, but I do see Daniel Holloway trying to get out there and trying to get by Corey Rainey. A single file back in the pack. But we do have a lead change. Dylan Picklesheimer getting by Seth LaCroix here.
Yeah, and it was a really good move in order for him to make that happen as well. Again, this is a race of longevity. Certainly, you need to go fast. You need to go fast early, and you need to pick your spots. But, finding yourself with good track position and clean air really does make that car a lot faster.
Yes, it does. And I do apologize. I did mention the 24. I think I had stated that was Dawson Price. That is actually Trevor Quisenberry. Oh, trouble. Looks like Dawson Price caught up in this, as well as Stephen Alessi. So Alessi with a lot of damage to the right side of that car. I saw Dawson Price around there first. Got a little confused there earlier on in the broadcast. Dawson Price does drive the 24 over an era. So Dawson Price going to bring it down pit road, it looks like, under caution. We'll go take a look and see what kicked this off. So Dawson Price getting to the inside there of the 18. And they touch, and Dawson Price looks like he slid up the track into that 18 car. That is the 18 of Tyler Hurt, and I think that hurt Tyler Hurt's car.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, with the high speeds that they're running out here, yeah, as you can see, maybe just a little bit of contact. But with the high speeds here that they're running on this racetrack, aerodynamics are critical, and man, looks like just maybe a misjudge, mistiming.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big mistake here at the beginning of this one. So I know Tyler Hurt's been tangled up in a couple of incidents earlier on in the season, and that's going to be frustrating here. And get another look at it.
Sometimes build some consistency, right? And when you have incidents like that happen, it certainly does add to that frustration.
Yeah, and one more look, and you see Dawson Price there. He's going to have a lot of damage, and John Underkoffler saying, I should focus on the pace car. There's no way I can jinx that.
Not a bad suggestion.
So we'll take a minute and just focus on that pace car. But quick rundown of the standings. We do have some of the leaders on pit road. LaCroix coming down pit road early on here.
Yeah, you got to wonder. 6 laps into the race, what are we looking to gain here? How can we improve the car just a little bit? It's a long stretch into a long race, but as we talked about, you got to get these adjustments done early, because if you're behind the 8 ball for the entire race, you really don't give yourself much of a chance.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with tire and fuel strategy here. So they are running a fixed setup tonight, so not too many changes they can make to that car, other than brake bias in the race. But definitely a couple leaders. Corey Rainey also coming down as well. And we'll get a look at the lineup now. Dylan Picklesheimer maintaining the lead. Trevor Quisenberry moves to second. Al Likens in third. Jeremiah Nelson will restart fourth. Trevor Yates in fifth. Corey Yoakum sixth. Eric Rodman will restart seventh. Jason Werbesquez in eighth. Rob Robertson in ninth. And Mike Hill will round out your top 10. And Mike Hill in that 27 Bird Wraps car. We're used to seeing Mike Hill in the Enchanted Oaks Ford Mustang. Enchanted Oaks, if you were looking for the RV park, if you were looking for the perfect place to park and relax on the Texas coast, make your next stop Enchanted Oaks RV Park, conveniently located on Highway 35 bypass in beautiful Rockport, Texas. Just a short drive from local beaches, art museums, shopping, and some of the best coastal attractions the area has to offer. Whether you're staying for a weekend getaway or an extended visit, Enchanted Oaks RV Park offers comfort, convenience, and the perfect place to call home while you explore the coast. Mention this broadcast, Rebel Racing Network, or Mike Hill to receive a free gift upon check-in. And they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. And Tim, after seeing how that first little stint played out, anyone else you got your eye on up front here?
Yeah, I'm watching Trevor Yates just a little bit in that bright pink car on the inside of Road 3. Again, looking at the total distance of the race, we've got to see how this is going to play out. But, sitting in the catbird seat and on the inside of that third line gives you the opportunity to kind of pounce a little bit. It's going to be a question of, is there going to be a stack up on the inside or the outside? Who's going to have the advantage off this restart? And is there going to be any chaos that ensues?
Yeah, and I don't think they've really gotten enough wear on those tires to worry about having to spin the tires here on this restart. We definitely saw that play a factor last week. But Dylan Picklesheimer is definitely going to have an advantage here when they get around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone, being able to control this restart.
Yeah, they got to be careful to make sure that they're maintaining position. Let that leader get to that restart zone first. And the question is, what kind of stack up is that going to cause?
Yep, and we'll keep an eye on it with that green flag coming just after this corner. And John Underkoffler with some insight on Enchanted Oaks RV Park. Looks like they're looking at sponsoring a truck series as well. So excited for them in that. But the pace car is off. And they make their way down to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. We are back underway. It looks like
Picklesheimer right there with a really good jump there. He definitely had that restart time well.
Yeah, and I think Trevor Quisenberry got caught sleeping there. You saw the 46 of Jeremiah Nelson get right up to that back bumper. Quisenberry going to hang on to second here, though, as he drops it down in front of Al Likens. And Likens going to be one to watch here. And you see Likens stay on the outside as Picklesheimer and Quisenberry drop down to the inside.
Yep, and Picklesheimer with that move to the inside, trying to gain a little bit of an aero advantage, finds his way back up the track, and they're back in line here.
Yep. And it's single file up front, but I do hear some beating and banging back in the pack. Move back. We'll take a look at Thomas Lavierde.
Yeah, a lot of fanning out coming down that long stretch. I mean, again, these guys are looking for a little bit of an aero advantage as best they can. It's so hard to pass. You got to really pretty close to stay in line going through the turns there. And so, you know, that is what leads to some of that chaos.
Yeah, and we do get a lot of we are getting a lot of chaos there. Still 2x2 there back in the pack. I think that might be that is Seth LaCroix trying to work his way around Madeline Jackson. And then Storm Strube and Dave Mayberry battling it out.
Yep, 2x2 in the back of the pack for sure. Looks like they're getting themselves straightened out now. See if they can click off some nice clean laps to try to get a feel for their car and try to get a feel for the speed on the track.
Yep, and looking through here, I don't think I see anyone side by side quite yet. Maybe Mike Hill dealing with Daniel Holloway there. Get a better look at it here. So Mike Hill actually battling out with Rob Robertson right now. And then Thomas Lavierde and Tyler Green battling it out just behind him. Looks like Mike Hill going to get the advantage here. That outside line getting a run. Rob Robertson dropping as Lavierde gets by him as well. And here comes Tyler Green.
We got a car that's smacked the inside wall just at the entrance of the pit lane. That was Rob Robertson actually. Looked like maybe there was a little bit of contact at the very least. At the very least, it looked like Robertson got a little bit loose coming off that turn. Not sure what the severity of the damage is, but I guess if it's going to happen at any point on the track, at the end of pit lane is right where you want it, so you can pull it right back in there.
Yep, and it looked like he might have gotten a little bit of contact from the rear from Tyler Green, but he's able to get that car down pit road, and we're going to stay green flag racing here.
Picklesheimer's really doing a good job of putting some distance between himself and Trevor Quisenberry right now. Seems like he's got a very well-handled car. Looks like he's really just got this track figured out, using and navigating all the lanes. Right now, he's got a little bit more than a half a second lead over second place Quisenberry.
Yep, and Picklesheimer looking strong here. Quisenberry trying to hang on. Al Likens, we normally see him up front here leading these races. He's hanging back there in third for the time being.
Yeah, so you got to wonder, is it strategy? Is he trying to save some tires? Or is he just trying to figure the track out?
Yeah, and I tell you what, he is definitely one of the more seasoned guys in the series. I-rating of over 4,000 and been completely dominant this season in the races he's been in.
You know, and watching his car control out there, he's running pretty consistent lines every single time. It seems like he's got a really good feel for the track and a really good feel for where he wants to put that car. He's able to get it right down on that white paint on the inside through the turns. So it seems like he's got this track really just figured out.
Yeah, and we'll keep an eye on him. And just to update, our biggest movers of the night right now, Thomas Lavierde in that 54, as well as Tyler Green in the 77. They have gained 16 positions since the start of this one. And it looks like they were getting ready to battle with each other.
Yeah, and what's really important, again, we keep talking about it over and over, is track position. If you can gain that track position early in the race, you put yourself in a really good position to move that car forward throughout.
Yep, and speaking of track position, let's go and take a look back at our pole sitter. And the Vermont Diecast Pole Award winner, Seth LaCroix, he's back there in 14th right now after pitting underneath that first caution.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of a strategy move, get those fresh tires on a little bit earlier than the others. We'll see how it pays off for him in the end.
Yep, and I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, in the meantime, there's some lap traffic in the middle of the field. Christian Rhodes was involved in that first incident, had to spend some time on pit lane. He's doing a really good job of staying out of the way of these other cars, but you got to wonder if it's going to factor in here as they work their way through the various short chutes and long straightaways here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some of these guys off their line, especially coming off the corner. Could break that field up just a little bit more, but we saw last week when the lap traffic coming back on track with all that damage can go wrong. But Christian Rhodes doing an excellent job of staying out of everyone's way, and Eric L'Oreal as well.
Yeah, really respectful racing out there. Just trying to salvage something that he can out of it, while not trying to mess up the race for anybody else.
Yeah, it's salvaging everything you can out of it. Definitely important in this series, especially with the dynamic purses that are paid out to every position. So even though they might be out of the running for the win, they can still win some money here if a couple more cars get damaged beyond repair as this one goes on.
Yeah, Austin, turning our attention back to the front of the pack here. We were talking about the gap that Picklesheimer was putting on Trevor Quisenberry. That gap has shrunk to about half right now, looking at a little over 0.3 of a second from first to second. And don't look now, because Trevor Quisenberry seems to be on a mission.
Yeah, and looking back at the last 5 lap times of these guys, Trevor Quisenberry definitely closed it in. He's been faster 3 out of the last 5 laps. So we'll keep an eye on that as this one goes on. So we are down in
exiting turn 4, heading down that front stretch. That gap has shrunk even just a little bit more.
Yep, and this is something we tend to see a lot in this series. You know, these drivers waiting and saving as much tire as they can till the end of these stages and trying to push the leader to make a mistake late in the stage. An update, 8 laps to go, 25 laps in stage 1. It is getting ready to come to an end.
Yeah, turning our attention back up to the front. A little bit of games of cat and mouse, it seems like, going on right now. Quisenberry was able to close that gap to just over 1/10 of a second. We can see Picklesheimer is definitely using it as much of the track as he can. Just drove it down. Actually, moving back up the track forced Quisenberry to get into the wall just a little bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time, but he should be able to get that back.
Yep, and Quisenberry now down to 0.2 of a second. But I'd like to point out, even though that cat and mouse game going on, they have opened up their lead over Al Likens to a second for Dylan Picklesheimer, and Quisenberry improving on that time as well.
Yeah, definitely go time. Down to about 5 laps here remaining in the first stage, and now it's time to go.
Yep, and Picklesheimer has closed that gap now, 1/10 of a second. He is there. We're going to see what he can do with it. So they're making their way down.
Dodge to the outside for sure, and Picklesheimer goes up and blocks.
Down into turn 1 in the short chute. And that block by Picklesheimer definitely took Quisenberry off his game here.
Yeah, it cost him a little bit of time. Increase the distance from about a half a car length to 3 or 4 car lengths now. But still, 4 laps to go in this stage. And Quisenberry really just needs to exercise some patience and see what he can do about getting around Picklesheimer, while Picklesheimer is going to keep driving both out the front windshield and the rearview mirror as well.
Yep, and we got to look back at the pack. Seth LaCroix is continuing that charge back up to the front. He just got by Mike Hill. Tyler Green also going to get by Mike Hill. And Mike Hill looks like he has used up all of his tires. He is dropping now back to 13th. Corey Rainey getting ready to put the pressure on him.
Yeah, and it's tough when you have no tires and you're trying your best to just survive. Makes it really hard, but could be a learning lesson here going into stage number 2.
Yep, and I am interested to know how the pit strategy for stage 2 is going to play out here. We saw those drivers pitting there at lap 6. And no more caution, so they're definitely going to have to pit here underneath this stage break, but I do believe they're going to be one set shorter on tires, and I'm not sure how much that, or I'm pretty sure that set might matter a whole lot at the end of this one.
Yeah, it sure seems that way. The tire fall off is just extreme right now. I get the strategy trying to short pit that front side there. But you know, sometimes you put all your eggs in one basket and it doesn't work out that way for you.
Yep. And going back up to the front, Picklesheimer really opened up that gap over Trevor Quisenberry here these last couple laps. 6 to 7 tenths of a second. I think Quisenberry used just about everything he had to get to that back bumper of Picklesheimer.
Yeah, he gave himself an opportunity, was able to close it within a tenth, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the job done. You know, might just need to settle in here for second place and in the stage, give himself a good opportunity going into stage 2.
Yep, and we do have a question up here. John Underkoffler wanting to know what the sponsor for Al Lyken's car is. We're trying to get a good shot of it for you. A little bit tough here with the camera angles we've been given by iRacing. And when this stage break comes out, we will be getting an interview from Dawson Price to see what happened in that first incident. Down to 3 to go here. As Picklesheimer continuing his dominance, but the battles are raging back in the pack. Trevor Yates trying to close that gap with Nicholas Warner. It looks like Seth LaCroix is opening up the gap over Jason Werbesquez. Werbesquez having to deal with that 21 of Daniel Holloway in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, and, you know, coming down to the end of the stage, that pressure from behind, you got to just kind of really maintain your composure, hit your marks, hit your spots, and, you know, do everything you can to try to get through this stage without any further trouble.
Yep, and we do have an update on the 20's primary sponsor, David Ferguson Construction, on the 20 car. So thank you, FP, for giving us that update. But we are down to 2 to go, soon to be 1 to go, as Dylan Picklesheimer is going across that line. 1 lap to go on the stage. All right, and we've got a yellow out. I'm not sure if there was an issue on track. Not seeing anything on the scoring chart. And I think they might have jumped the gun and ended the stage a lap early here.
Yeah, just scouring through. I'm with you. I didn't see anything out there that would have caused that. Well, maybe we'll just call it a debris caution. How's that?
All right, that sounds good, but it's going to bring an end to stage 1. So that means Dylan Picklesheimer is going to be your TriStar Property Maintenance stage winner. And I'm really starting to believe that broadcaster's curse is a real thing, because Picklesheimer's been someone that I've had my eye on all season and been my pick at a couple of races, and he's looking strong here.
Yeah, really consistent laps, one after the next, navigating the pressure from behind. He seems to have a really good handle and a good feel tonight.
Yep, and as they get set up here, get reset up under caution, we're going to go ahead and take a minute to talk to Dawson Price here. Dawson, it's Austin and Tim up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
I am getting tongue-tied. I have been talking all day, it seems like. Take us through what happened during that caution.
Yeah, so initially on the restart, I got kind of stuck on the outside and washed back with the cold tires and everything, and then got kind of put there back with the 18, and everything was good, like I was just kind of setting it up, like, all right, just gonna take care of the car, kind of follow the leader, and I realized I had a little bit more pace even saving in the 18, and it was like 3 or 4 times. I think he blocked me into 3, or I want to say it was 3, after I would build a run and stuff, and I was like, dang. And I finally got a nose inside of him because he missed the corner, and I want to say it was turn 3 as well. I got under him, was keeping at the bottom, and then I was like, okay, he's on my outside. I should be good to kind of like run the corner, but give him enough room between me and the wall on exit for him to still wash up and not have to like get into the wall or anything. And it surprised me when he didn't really float up much like the cars around us, and just kind of stayed right there on my right rear, and we just got together, and it clobbered the car tonight.
All right. Well, really unfortunate for you, but I do got to ask Dawson, because we are definitely curious here on the Rebel Racing Network. When can we expect Era back?
Around a month. I'm thinking early September is probably going to be season 2 beginning.
All right. Well, we will be excited for that, and we will see you back here next week, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
And once again, that was Dawson Price involved in that first incident. And update here, Jeremiah Nelson in that 46 looks like he's going to take over the lead position. Seth LaCroix also cycling back to the lead here, and I think I see the pit strategy now, Tim. iRacing has just recently updated the pit stop times to reflect the one lug NASCAR pit times. So the problem is, when you get that tank empty, you were waiting for that tank to be refueled even after your tires are changed, and I think that was the difference maker, because Seth LaCroix going to move to 2nd, Trevor Quisenberry up to 3rd, Dylan Picklesheimer drops to 4th here, and Al Likens will round out our top 5 as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And we're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
Yep.
All right, and we are back, folks. Lights on the pace car are out. They've been given the 1 to go signal. And it'll be Jeremiah Nelson leading them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. My World of Whiskey, the most comprehensive mobile app every serious bourbon collector should have on their phone. Founded by a collector who started, like most of us, tracking his bottles in a spreadsheet, My World of Whiskey grew into the most complete tool on the market for managing a real collection. Built bourbon first with deep support for rye, Scotch, Irish, Japanese, Canadian whiskey. Over 10,000 bottles and a hand-curated database that grows daily. barcode scanning, and spreadsheet upload to add bottles in seconds, full purchase tracking with dates, locations, and prices, collection analytics that give you the complete picture of your shelf. If you are serious about your bourbon, you need this app. Use promo code ERACE25 to receive a 25% discount on their website. All right, and it does look like that green flag has been waved off, so we're going to go around one more time.
And the lights are off in the pace car, and appears that we're going to go green this time by.
Yep, looks like they've got it sorted out. Tim, you are still clued into the driver chat. Any word on what caused them to wave off the green flag?
No, I'm not sure exactly. I've got to wonder if it was maybe just an early flag by race control, but not exactly sure. I'm going to try to see if we can't figure that out.
All right, well, we'll get that figured out. And John Underkoffler, I upset he missed the Cracker Barrel commercial. John, I don't believe we have a Cracker Barrel sponsorship, but if you know a guy... So making their way down the back stretch 2x2. I think this restart is going to be interesting. Jeremiah Nelson in control of it, but he was not the strongest in practicing qualifying. He qualified 7th, but now he's up front with our pole sitter, more than likely going to settle right in behind him, or if not, probably be to his outside as they hit turn 1. This is where
it'll be interesting to see what happens with those second row cars, the 2 leaders that were coming to the green and white checkers there at the end of the stage, and see how they navigate this. These could be some tense moments here as we're heading off turn 4.
Yep, but the lights on the pace car still out, so it is confirmed we're going back green flag racing as they make their way down the front stretch. And the green flag is out. We are back underway as Jeremiah Nelson gets the jump in the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And Quisenberry got a real strong restart. He's to the inside of LaCroix.
Yeah, Jeremiah Nelson really, you could tell he knew where he was going. He took about a car length into the restart zone before it took off, and man, he was just gone at this point.
Yep, very strong restart, and Quisenberry getting by Seth LaCroix. I did not see that one coming, but Quisenberry very fast through stage 1, and this could be what Quisenberry needs to be able to get his opportunity in the lead. Dylan Picklesheimer stuck behind Seth LaCroix, and I know LaCroix is not going to give up that 3rd position easy.
No, he's definitely going to fight for it. And it's going to be a matter of patience there for Picklesheimer. You know, he was able to stave off Quisenberry in that first stage, but now he's in a different spot where he's got pressure from behind and he's trying to chase down the car in front of him as well. Yep,
and Al Likens putting that pressure on him from behind. And Quisenberry definitely going to be at a disadvantage here, because one thing we haven't talked about tonight is that dirty air and how it's going to affect their cars. One thing we do know from watching these Cup cars on Thursday and Sunday nights is it is next to impossible to pass the leader when he's got the advantage of clean air. You have to hope for some lap traffic.
Yeah, track position and clean air at this track really are key.
Yep, and we didn't see anyone getting around to the rear of the pack. No one got... I don't believe no lap traffic becoming a factor here. Well, we do have multiple cars a lap down. Corey Yoakum has fallen a lap down, as well as Jason Werbesquez, Mike Hill, and Eric Rodeman. And Joseph Lewis got going back to our Cracker Barrel conversation we're having up in the chat, says he knows a guy at Cracker Barrel that might be able to get us a sponsorship for the series. So, Joseph, we're going to need you to reach out to him and trying to get him to come on board the Viscera team here. And maybe we can get broadcasted in both the Wicked Pub and Cracker Barrel next week.
Hey, wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
You know, Austin, turning our attention back to the race, Trevor Quesenberry has really closed the gap on Jeremiah Nelson down to just about a tenth of a second, and looks like he's back to that little bit of cat and mouse, and see how he navigates that as he enters turn 3 into the short chute. Looks like he's got a little bit of a run to the inside, and there he goes. Off he goes.
Yep, and Nelson tapping that outside wall. That's going to kill all his momentum. Quesenberry to the lead.
I have a feeling Quesenberry had just about enough of riding in second here for this race. He saw that opportunity to go to the point, and he definitely took advantage.
Yep, and, Jeremiah Nelson, wasn't sure how he's going to compete with these guys that were laying down these fast lap times throughout practice and qualifying, but he did a very good job of holding on to that lead for as long as he did, because Quesenberry and Picklesheimer, both very strong cars through stage 1. As we look further back in the pack, checking in on Corey Rainey. Rainey not having the night he was looking for. He's sitting back there in 9th, down 7 positions from where he started.
Yeah, he's been doing a little peek into the inside there to Trevor Yates. He just can't seem to get that run. And you got to wonder if it's that dirty air that you were talking about just a few moments ago.
Yeah, and one thing we mentioned at the top of the show, how hard it is to pass here. And I heard a lot of drivers complaining about how hard it was to pass throughout practice. All right, and question from John Underkoffler up in the chat is curious to know if Rebel Racing Network has any viewers at the No Name Pub in Big Pine Key, Florida. I am not aware, John, but if there are any viewers at the No Name Pub, go ahead and sound off in the chat and let me know you are here watching. And checking in with Storm Strube here. Strube has had his struggles through the beginning of this one, but he is knocking on the door of the top 10 right now. He's just got to get up to that rear bumper of Dave Mayberry. And look at Strube sporting a new paint scheme this week. A big change up from his T-Mobile paint scheme. But you do still see T-Mobile on that rear quarter panel of the 45 car. Wink, wink, Joseph.
Yeah, he's doing what he can to try to close that gap to Dave Mayberry, who's directly in front of him right now. Dave Mayberry's had a pretty good race so far, up into the top 10. Big improvements from the qualifying run. Haven't mentioned him a lot tonight, but quietly he's made his way up through the field.
Yes, he has, and we've definitely got some sleepers here tonight. And throughout the league, I've seen a lot of guys just sneaking their way up towards the front of the pack as the race goes on. Now 37 laps into this one, we're approaching our halfway point with 14 left to go in the stage.
It'll be interesting to see how the second part of this stage plays out, Austin. We ran a lot of caution laps at the very beginning of this stage. I think, we went to green with, on lap 29 or 30 or so. So that's certainly going to save some of the tires, and as you mentioned, that fuel as well.
Yeah, and we did see, it looked like everyone made it to the end of stage 1 without pitting. Now, they did have One caution to help with that. So the stage break looks like they're going to be able to help these drivers make it to the end of stage 2 on fuel. But the big question is going to be stage 3. Once again, that final stage will be 30 laps. So we know it is going to be outside of that pit window. And just a quick update on the weather. These temperatures have dropped. The temperature now down to 66 degrees, down from 71 degrees. So some big changes coming to this track, and I think that's going to bring some new faces up to the front of this field.
You know, as I'm scanning the field here, Austin, I'm noticing there are a couple of lapped cars that are in the mix of our drivers, pretty much keeping pace. You know, we got Tyler Green out there sitting in position 16, up 11 spots from where he started. Initially, I thought the best battle on the track was him and Robertson, but unfortunately, Robertson's a lapped car. Doesn't seem to be holding Tyler Green up very much. As he looks to peek to the inside now to try to get around him. But that lap traffic is definitely intermixing.
Yep, and there you see Tyler Green trying to get that run down the front stretch, and it looks like he's there. He's got to clear him quickly and get up to the rear bumper of Chet Sellers.
Yeah, because Chet Sellers is for position at this point. So I'm trying to get a big run off the outside as they head down into the backstretch, and it looks like unfortunately it looks like Robertson's just got a little bit stronger car coming off the turn.
Yep, and Tyler Green doing the best he can right now. But we do got to go check in. Speaking of lap traffic, Jason Rebesquez also making headlines this week. He has left Slightly Dangerous Racing, and SDR purchased a charter for the number 1 of Christian Rhodes this week. So still some more shakeups in the teams. And unlike NASCAR, where the team shakeups typically happen in between seasons, we've already had a number of shakeups here just 6 weeks into the season. All right, and just an update, or a little fun fact from John Underkoffler down there in Florida. Several iconic Florida establishments feature walls and ceilings covered in signed dollar bills, notably McGuire's Irish Pub, the No Name Pub, and Cabbage Key Inn and Restaurant. I don't know about those others two, but I've definitely spent a lot of time at McGuire's Irish Pub down there in Pensacola. We do have an update from the front of the field. It looks like Dylan Pickelsheimer was putting the pressure there. Or correction, Jeremiah Nelson putting the pressure on Trevor Quisenberry there, it looked like.
Yeah, he really closed that gap on that last lap. I'm not sure if something happened with Quisenberry's car, if he got washed up the track a little bit, lost some momentum somehow, but certainly definitely made some moves there. Looks like Quisenberry's putting a little bit more of a gap on there again.
Yep, and now's about the time we're going to start to see those cars starting to slide up the track, wanting to push towards the outside wall just a little bit more. It could have been a move, just that car pushing through the corner, and he makes contact, and he's trying to keep that car under control.
Yeah, just a little bit of a bobble there, both in the middle of the turn and then coming off of it. And that's just enough to disrupt the pace of that car. And if the car behind you gets some really good momentum, they can close right in on you.
Yep. And just an update here. Right now, our biggest mover of the race, that 54 of Thomas Lavierde, up 14 positions to 12th. Lavierde did not qualify in this one, but a strong showing here.
Yeah, and we've got some takers on pit road now. Corey Yoakum is on the pits. Rob Roberson is also in the pits. So, the question is, we know Roberson was running down in the field, laps down, but you got to wonder, is this part of the strategy here?
Yeah, I do believe Corey Yoakum was also a lap down, so I don't see any reason why they would call it. Still racing for that money. Every position is a little bit more, but we've got a battle for the lead. Nelson to the inside of Quisenberry.
Oh, a little bit of contact with the outside wall there for Quisenberry coming off the turn. That's definitely a function of those tires not being as nice as they used to be.
Yeah, but I tell you what, that little shot we saw in the front stretch was definitely not a function of those tires. Oh, Quisenberry, you saw him bobbling there, trying to keep that car under control, and they are fighting hard here. And that is exactly what Picklesheimer wants to see. He is right back into that battle for the lead now, too.
Yeah, in the catbird seat, watching what's happening in front of him, and now it's a matter of picking the lane. Which lane does he want to go to, and which one is the most favorable? Or is he going to make it 3 wide and make his own lane?
Yeah, I think the smart move right here for Picklesheimer is to just hang back and let them battle it out. As I say that, he's going to throw his hat into the mix here, giving Jeremiah Nelson the put.
Yeah, a little bit of brute force right there to try to will himself up to the front.
Yep. I don't know. I think it might have been better off just hanging it out and letting those two battle it out and burn up those tires just a little bit more. As Picklesheimer going to back it off to about 0.6 of a second gap. And that battle for the lead right back on, and Jeremiah Nelson has lost his buddy there.
He sure has, and there's big pressure coming from Trevor Quisenberry. That's for darn sure.
Yes, there is, and Todd Wilson cheering on Nicholas Warner in that 7 machine. Nicholas Warner starting to move up as Quisenberry and LaCroix coming down pit road here.
Yeah, a little bit of a strategy move here. A couple laps left here in the stage, and get that fresh rubber out there, and maybe some track position when everybody else comes out.
Yep.
I mean, the other thing about it too, Austin, is Quisenberry's car was just not handling well. His tires were shot at that point. It was probably just a good opportunity to come in. It may not have been strategy at all. It may have just been, got to be able to drive this car.
Yeah, and I think that pit stop, though, it's going to put him in a good position to be able to get some good track position as they start stage 3. Quisenberry coming off pit road now. Jeremiah Nelson coming down. So Dylan Picklesheimer is going to go back to the lead as Nelson going to creep down pit road now. And Joseph Lewis saying Picola is the greatest place to see the Blue Angels practice. That's what they call the sound of freedom. I don't know, Joseph. I used to call that the sound of my lunch being ruined because I couldn't talk on the phone when I was stationed down there. Those jets were definitely loud. And
Austin, do you see who's in the mix now up in second place? Al Likens. Talked about him earlier in the race tonight. He has improved his position from the starting spot. He's in second place now with just a couple of laps to go on the stage here.
Yep, he's going to have to get by Picklesheimer, though. Now Picklesheimer's going to have that clean air working for him. We go back and check in on LaCroix. He's back on track. Quisenberry out there as well on those fresh tires. They're going to stay on this lead lap here.
Which is really important, as you say, coming to the end of the stage. Should put him in a good position to start stage 3.
Yep. And I do want to take a moment here to talk about that 88 of Madeline Jackson here. She's been the talk of the series through the first couple weeks here. The only female driver out on track, and she just recently has come over from NASCAR 26 on console, I believe, or 25. I can't remember which one's out now. But new to the service, new to iRacing. She just got her D license this week. But looking at the stats, she's now in oh, caution. Caution is out. Jason Werbeska is going around here. So we'll go back here, take a look and see what happened to Jason. Oh, Werbeska is just getting down to the bottom. He clips that grass and loses all grip on those tires. That brings out our third caution of the night, the second one for cause.
Yeah, when you're managing old tires, it makes it really hard. You try to, for lack of better words, cheat where you can, get as low as you can on the track, because that car just wants to wash up. And unfortunately, got it off of the uneven surface and put him around.
Yep, so that's going to shake things up. That stage break was supposed to come at lap 50. And that will actually be the stage break. Looks like that yellow flag flew lap 49. So that will mean Dylan Picklesheimer is going to be our TriStar Property Maintenance Stage 2 winner here. And he will lead them down pit road, but this is where pit strategy is going to play in. LaCroix not going to have to come down pit road. Jeremiah Nelson has already pitted. And I think that stage break coming out just a lap earlier is really going to work to their advantage as well.
Yeah, that's one lap fresher tires than they would have anticipated having. And again, with this longer third stage that we've got coming up here, it'll be interesting to see, what that one lap advantage, for lack of better words, does for those guys.
Yeah, and one thing we talked about with tonight, that clean air, Quisenberry, Nelson, and LaCroix going to have the advantage of the clean air here, it looks like. Specifically Quisenberry, who's back to the lead now.
Yeah, and with only 2 laps on those tires, if they can use that clean air to their advantage and they can take care of their tires, it may actually work out really well in their favor.
Yeah, and one thing, this caution is also going to give them that opportunity to get those tires cooled down. Weather still sitting at 66 degrees here. Yeah, the skies are clear, so might not cool as much as they'd like them to. But I don't think we're going to see too much of a tire advantage for these guys pitting underneath the stage break. And we're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here. Welcome to Rebel Racing Network, the premier destination for professional iRacing esports broadcasting. We bring the virtual track to life with high-energy race commentary that captures every pass, every pit stop, every photo finish. Our team of expert broadcasters delivers real-time analysis, strategy breakdowns, and the excitement of wheel-to-wheel racing. And before the green flag drops, we set the stage with our signature pre-race flyovers, showcasing each circuit with stunning cinematic visuals that make you feel like you're there in real life. Whether you're chasing a championship or cheering on your favorite team, Rebel Racing Network covers every story, every series, and every unforgettable moment. From grassroots leagues to top-tier championships, we bring passion, precision, and performance to every broadcast. Subscribe now, watch live, feel the rush. This is Rebel Racing Network, where the action never lifts.
All right, and we are back, folks, getting ready to get this one back underway. Trevor Quisenberry will lead them around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. So they are doubled back up. Jeremiah Nelson restarting second, Seth LaCroix in third, Dylan Picklesheimer will restart fourth, and Daniel Holloway rounding out your top five in that Florida Academy Ford Mustang. So they make their way off of turn 4 here.
And Picklesheimer's in a familiar spot there. He was on that last restart on the outside of row number 2.
Yep. That pace car is off as they make their way to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag is back out. Quisenberry got the jump, but here comes Seth LaCroix on that inside trying to get underneath Jeremiah Nelson. It looks like the top 5 going to get it worked out single file for the time being, but Dylan Picklesheimer to the inside of LaCroix. Picklesheimer is charging, and here comes Corey Rainey as well.
Running side by side all over the track.
Yep, LaCroix. He's got good first lap speed, and then it really seems like he tends to fall off. I'm wondering if he is really struggling with his tire management here.
Yeah, Al Likens just completed the pass on LaCroix, and now Dan Holloway is looking to make the same kind of a move there.
Yep, and Dan Holloway in that Florida Academy Ford Mustang. At Florida Academy in Fort Myers, you'll find short-term professional education programs in some of today's fastest-growing fields. For over 3 decades, they've been helping students transform their dreams into reality. With a focus on real-world practical learning, they prepare their students to launch careers in the beauty and wellness, as well as the skilled trades industries. I'm glad to have them on board, sponsoring this entire series. So a big shout-out to Florida Academy.
Big back and forth battle on the track right now between the 54 Thomas Laverde and Dave Mayberry. Dave tries to bring it in low into the turn, and it looks like Laverde is able to stay a little higher, gets a little bit better run off the turn. Got to wonder in a couple of laps what the tire fall off will be and what that will mean for those guys.
Yeah, and I've seen these guys both do very well managing tires. Laverde looking just a little bit faster that last time by. About 0.2 of a second faster for Laverde. And we are already down to 26 left to go in the stage. So that pit window getting ready to open up for these drivers. And Trevor Yates going to hop to the inside of Nicholas Warner here. Yates going to get by Warner, no problem. And here comes Laverde as well. I apologize. Yates actually going to fall in line behind Warner. And Dave Mayberry making his move on Thomas Laverde. Mayberry going to go to 10th, breaking his way into the top 10 here.
Laverde's not giving up, though. He's fighting there on the inside, seeing what he can do. He's at this point, he's the biggest mover in the race, improving 15 positions from qualifying. And he's not satisfied there. He wants to try to get a few more.
Yep, and we've still got a long way to go. 24 laps in this race. And with that That means our pit window is officially open for these drivers to be able to make it to the end on fuel. It does look like this could turn into a fuel mileage race here at the end. We went flag to flag, or nearly flag to flag, in stage 2 under green. So I wouldn't count on a caution here. I think we're going to see some drivers try and short pit in the next couple laps and get some fresh tires trying to make up some time.
Well, and knowing that, Austin, it's got to make you wonder how the tire management is taking place. Knowing that they have to make a stop midway through, are they conserving tire at the front of the run so that they can try to gain, as much advantage as they can on the tire and maintain that fuel? Or are they going to work really hard at the front of that run, knowing that they're going to be coming in to get some tires and fresh fuel anyways?
Yeah, and that's the big question here. I'm looking at the lap times here, and we're only seeing about a second of fall off. Now, if you were to take the tires here early on, you could lay back and still run faster times than the drivers that stay out. But normally, we see kind of a domino effect here, where when one driver goes, it seems like everyone is going to come the next lap.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on who makes that decision to come down to the pits. You know, Trevor Quisenberry is built just about a 1 second lead right now, and you got to wonder, again, what's the strategy? Is he pushing hard and putting some distance between himself and Picklesheimer in second place, or is he just navigating this track really well? We've seen him up front the entire race.
Yeah, and this will be the first, we haven't seen him up front at the end of a stage. It's been Picklesheimer all night long at the end, so we'll see how this plays out. I think Trevor Quisenberry is probably going to push that car as hard as he can right now and make Dylan Picklesheimer work for it. I'm willing to bet that Picklesheimer will be the first car we see on pit road between these two, and then Quisenberry is going to come about a lap later. But we do,
yeah, like you said, it's that trickle effect, right? It's that first car comes and everybody comes.
Yep. And we do have an update. Dalton Gregson on pit road, as well as Corey Rainey. Another update on Dalton Gregson on his YouTube channel. He actually drove his own hauler to the track this week using American Truck Simulator. So we've got to get a picture of that on broadcast, and we might even have the video coming in here. So Quisenberry still in the lead. Jeremiah Nelson hanging there in third. A strong showing for Nelson. And going through...
Quisenberry right now. Yep, go ahead. Sorry, Austin.
I was just going to say, as I'm going through and looking at the scoring chart here, we're not seeing any competition for these guys. Everyone's single file right now. Trevor Yates with the closest gap as he tries to close in again with Nicholas Warner. But a lot of space between cars right now.
Oh, we got a caution out there. Didn't quite catch who
Seth
it was.
LaCroix. LaCroix goes around, and that was a hard hit. And we'll go back, take a look, and see what happened here. So LaCroix, it looks like Seth LaCroix was planning on coming down pit road and possibly missed a shift and downshifted in the wrong gear and lost control of it. We will ride along with Seth LaCroix, trying to see what he saw here. And that's exactly what it was. You could hear him cycling through those gears, and he dropped to second gear too quickly. And that sends him around, and LaCroix has got to be kicking himself right now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He was having a pretty good run out there.
Yep. So now Trevor Quisenberry going to lead the entire field down pit road, and this is going to be the last set of tires for most of these guys as well. So Corey Rainey going to go back to the lead here. Or to the lead for the first time, it looks like. 2 lap cars in front of him. But now Rainey going to have the advantage when they get to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. He's going to control the restart and have that clean air working to his advantage.
Yeah, he was the first car down on pit road, and you know, sometimes they say it's better to be lucky than good. And so he came out, he has those fresh tires on, wasn't even really able to use them, and he finds himself right up at the point now.
Yep, only 3 laps difference here, and I do believe at least one of those was under caution. Possibly 2. So we'll see what Corey Rainey can do, and I can feel the people at Wicked Pub pulling out those phones to check in and hopefully get a free round at the end of this one. So now that pit stops have cycled through, Corey Rainey will restart in the lead. Jeremiah Nelson in second, Dylan Picklesheimer third, Trevor Quisenberry fourth, Al Likens will restart fifth, Nicholas Warner in sixth, Daniel Holloway will restart 7th. Trevor Yates in 8th. Richard Smith will restart 9th. Dave Mayberry rounding out your top 10.
Another quick shout out to Madeline Jackson, up to position number 11, improved 12 positions on the track. That's a really good run for her.
It is, and we've been, we haven't had a chance to talk about her most of the night, but she's been having a tough learning curve making that transition from console to PC and iRacing, but a very strong showing tonight for her. And they will get the wave around.
One of the stories, one of the stories I'm interested in watching here on this next restart is the last couple of restarts we had Picklesheimer starting on the outside of row 2. This time he's on the preferred inside line behind Corey Rainey. So it'll be interesting to see what Picklesheimer can do with that.
I think we're going to see Dylan Picklesheimer tuck right up underneath that rear bumper of Corey Rainey and try and go with him right underneath that 46 of Jeremiah Nelson.
A little bit of muscle. 8 tires are faster than 4.
That is true. We're going to have to see how it plays out. So they make their way down the backstretch. And just an update, Seth LaCroix back out on track. I don't think he took too much damage there, but he currently sits P15. So he's going to have to fight to get his way back up to the front.
All right, just a short run here till the end of the race as they're entering turn 4 right now. I don't know. What do you think, Austin? Is this the last restart of the race?
I don't know. We do know cautions breed cautions. I think we're going to start to see some pushing up here up front trying to take home that big money purse. But the pace car is off. They are being led down to the My World of Whiskey restart zone by that 4 of Corey Rainey. And the green flag is back out. We are back underway.
Real nice start for Corey Rainey. He was able to time that well, and Jeremiah Nelson on the outside, didn't quite see him take off as well as he did, and as a result, Corey Rainey's off.
Picklesheimer's in trouble. So Picklesheimer out of shape off the corner. He has dropped all the way to P9. So Corey Rainey hanging on to the lead there. We're going to go back and see what happened here with Picklesheimer on this restart. So Picklesheimer getting right underneath Jeremiah Nelson. We saw him get those tires really low there. It looks like he just overdrove it into the short chute.
We got a caution on the track, Austin.
Yep, looks like Jason Werbeska is caught up in this. If I'm not mistaken, he was the second caution for cause as well. So we check in with Werbesquez. Oh, he made contact with Storm Strube and just goes around there. Looked like a hard hit to the outside wall. So that'll bring out our fifth caution of the night, the third for cause. And as they get ready to get set up again, we'll step aside for a quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks, getting ready to get this one back underway. I do believe they will be given the 1-to-go signal this next time by. And as Corey Rainey still with the lead, Jeremiah Nelson will be restarting to his outside. Trevor Quisenberry in third. Al Likens in fourth. Daniel Holloway will restart fifth. Nicholas Warner in sixth. Trevor Yates seventh. Dave Mayberry going to restart eighth. Dylan Picklesheimer ninth. And Tyler Green rounding out your top 10. And just an update on your Bird Wraps fastest lap. Right now it looks like Trevor Quisenberry does hold the position for fastest lap with a 51.17. And now that we're on older tires, they've gotten a couple of laps on these. I don't think we're going to see anyone beat out Trevor Quisenberry here. And John Underkoffler, I'm not sure who owes the actual round of drinks, who's going to pay for the round of drinks, but I have been told that at the Wicked Pub, everyone gets a free round of drinks if Corey Rainey gets a stage win. So I don't know what it is if he gets a race win. But the lights on the pace car are off. They are set back up to go back racing. It does look like we're going to have about 11 laps to go when the green flag drops.
Are you back on track? Yeah, 150 up on track.
All right, and Tim, we're getting ready to go back green. Who is your pick to take home the win at this point?
I've had my eye on Trevor Quisenberry this entire race. I think he's navigated it really well. Sitting in the inside of row number 2, you know, so much can happen on these restarts, as we know, but he's been really fast all night. I like him to get past Corey Rainey and take this one down. How about you, Austin?
I think I've got to go with Jeremiah Nelson. He's kind of been a dark horse up here. But he made himself known there in stage 2. He's got the advantage of being on the front row. I think we could see him possibly sneaking out a win here. They are off of turn 4. That pace car is off as they make their way around to the My World of Whiskey restart zone. And the green flag is back out. Corey Rainey getting the jump here. Quisenberry getting to the inside of Nelson. Rainey with the lead as they go into turn 1. And Nelson actually getting out of shape there, it looked like a little bit. He gets loose. That's going to let Trevor Quisenberry get... trouble back in the pack. Looks like this was Steven Alessi in the 8 car.
I was underneath you, man. I didn't do anything.
Over at Alessi Yates Motorsports. And he's got some front end damage. We'll go back, take a look, and see what happened here. You see the 3 wide beating and banging in front of him, and it looks like he just goes across the nose of the 96 of Eric Rodeman. Rodeman has had his struggles here tonight. And I'm not sure if anyone out there watching has their name on Eric Rodeman's car. We're doing our best to get you a look at some of the names on there. But I do see Daniel Holloway and Corey Rainey's name on that Wicked Pub car. All right, and as they get reset here, we are going to step aside for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here. It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back, folks, and we were just informed there was another incident for cause between the 54 of Thomas Lavierde and the 2 of Richard Smith. And we'll go ahead and give you guys a look at that. And that happened right in front of Madeline Jackson as well. So Lavierde just getting up into Smith, and Madeline Jackson, a great job avoiding that one. But we have just been given the 1 to go signal as they double them back up. Corey Rainey still in control of this one. Trevor Quesenberry in second. Al Likens in third. Jeremiah Nelson in fourth. Daniel Holloway rounding out your top 5. I do see that viewer count going up, guys. We do appreciate it here at the Rebel Racing Network, and I'm willing to bet right now, with some of those folks at the Wicked Pub tuning in, getting ready to go nuts in the chat, if Corey Rainey does sneak out a win here. And just an update for you guys, we are lap 72 of 80. So when the green flag drops, they will have 7 laps left to go in this one. So the big question is, can Corey Rainey hold on?
Well, don't look now, but Picklesmeyer's worked his way back up into contention. He's up to 8th place. You remember that incident on the last, one of the last restarts, shuffled him back there. But he's back in it again.
Yeah, well, we keep an eye on him here.
On that last restart, Quesenberry was able to give Corey Rainey a really good push to get into that first turn. Now he's going to be riding on the outside, and he's going to have to time that restart with Corey Rainey.
Yes, he is. Jeremiah Nelson restarting third here as the pace car is off, and we get ready to go back green flag racing. They make their way into the My World of Whiskey restart zone. Green flag's back out. And Al Likens giving that push to Corey Rainey. Likens with a nose inside of Quesenberry. But Quesenberry fighting back on that top line as they go through the short chute.
Yeah, I would say of all the restarts tonight, Quesenberry had that one on the outside time probably better than anybody else tonight.
Yes, he has, and it is a drag race down the backstretch, 8 to go. And here goes Picklesheimer there, making big moves. He's up to 6th here. And back to the front, Corey Rainey has gotten the better of Quesenberry. Al Likens now to the inside of Quesenberry. Corey Rainey, looking in his rear view, has got to be loving what he is seeing. Rainey opening up that gap to half a second. Quesenberry now clearing Likens. Jeremiah Nelson trying to get back into the mix, and Trevor Yates up there. But don't look now, because here comes Picklesheimer. As Corey Rainey continuing to open up that gap here.
Yeah, what's really important for Quesenberry here is to understand where we are in the race, know that he's got to hit his marks, he's got to have fast laps, but he also can't make a mistake.
Yep, and now Quesenberry, he's starting to close that gap back up, 0.3 of a second now. So you see Randy going all the way to the bottom there trying to fan out. Break up that draft a little bit for Quisenberry. So Randy and Quisenberry now pulling away from Al Likens.
Don't look now, but that gap is down to 0.2 of a second, and Quisenberry is closing fast.
Yep, now I think Quisenberry can get there. The big question, though, is can he complete the pass?
All right, coming down 4 to go.
Yep, actually looks like
about 1/10 of a second.
Yep, looks like 5 to go. Rainey breaking up that draft. They're going to stay single file. We're going to stay glued to this battle for the lead.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble there.
Yep, that gap now down to 1/10 of a second. Quisenberry is there.
And look who else has just decided to enter the mix. Al Likens in the 20.
Yep, we know how bad Likens wants this. Oh, Rainey in the wall. He's got damage. That is exactly what Quisenberry needed. So definitely some body damage to that 4 car, and as hard as he hit, he might have some wheel damage here.
Yeah, and that's not what Al Likens wanted to see with Corey Rainey battle. Oh, another hit into the wall.
Yep, I think that was both Corey Rainey and Al Likens tapping the wall there. And I can hear
Trevor Quisenberry is just fine. Yep.
Yep, I can hear a collective groan coming out of Florida right now. So Rainey, though, doing an excellent job of holding off Al Likens as they come down to 3 to go.
As we turn our attention to Corey Rainey, we can see that he's using about every possible lane in this racetrack to try to break up the draft, but also try to find some kind of an advantage to see if he can't get back to the rear bumper of Quisenberry.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's going to be able to find it. I am looking at that right side of his car, and you can definitely see a little bit of damage, and just a little bit of damage is going to hurt the aero there. But I do have to go back. Tyler Green has caught Dave Mayberry and is trying to put a pass on him before the end of this one. They're coming down to 2 to go now. And Green not able to make his move yet, as Seth LaCroix has caught Madeline Jackson. LaCroix going to the inside of Jackson. And we've got some moves up front. The battle's on for second. Al Likens battling it out with Corey Rainey.
Yeah, and it's a back and forth, too. Back and forth, side by side, a little bit of...
Likens out of shape. Ooh. And the Enchanted Oaks RV Park white flag is out. Trevor Quisenberry, your leader, and Jeremiah Nelson taking over second. I was sucked in to Al Likens getting out of shape after some contact with Corey Rainey. But Corey Rainey going to drop back to third here. As it looks like they've got it sorted out, and Trevor Quisenberry leading them by 1.5 seconds. So he goes through turn 4. And the checkered flag in the air. Trevor Quisenberry, no pressure out the back. Gonna take home the win. Jeremiah Nelson coming home second. And Dylan Picklesheimer rounding out your top 3. It looks like Corey Rainey might have ran into an issue there on that last lap. We're gonna go back and take a look. So Corey Rainey and Al Likens made contact. Al Likens out of shape. Rainey moves down in front of Picklesheimer. I think Rainey was just slow there. Picklesheimer pushing that car as hard as it would go.
Yeah, I have to think that maybe his tires were used up. He just he was doing everything he could to hang on, and you know, when you got no speed carrying on that outside lane, that makes it really tough.
Yeah, and he's still hanging there, but looks like that car just really started pushing. He possibly had some wheel damage there from that hard hit he took. And Trevor
Yeah, he slapped
Quisenberry.
that wall pretty hard.
Yep. And Trevor Quisenberry burning it down on the front stretch. He's going to have to go ahead and pucker up and kiss these bricks. And John Underkoffler, that is the On Point Casino, I believe, on Trevor Quisenberry's car. She's going to burn it down there. And Quisenberry going to park it there. And looking for him in the Discord right now to get him moved up here for his interview. There he comes. So now we're all set up. We're going to go ahead and kick off our interviews. And we'll go ahead and kick off with our third place finisher, Dylan Picklesheimer. Dylan, it's Austin and... Dylan, it's Austin and Tim up at the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. You got a copy?
We got a copy, and you forgot to turn off your sound effects when you enter a room.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that. Never turned them off a day of my life.
It's not the first time that's happened to me. I've had some pretty bad ones actually catch me off guard on stream, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I made it a good one because, like I said, I don't know how to turn them off. I need to figure that out if I'm gonna keep finishing top 3.
Yes, you do. But you know, another top 3 finish under your belt. You won stage 1. You won stage 2. What was the difference in stage 3 for you?
I think the difference is that one restart, I got loose and fell back to 8th. That's what lost me the race. I think I could have won it because I was gonna be. I don't know. I was 3rd, about to pass Jeremiah for 2nd, and I think I could have got by the 4. So just the restart is what killed me. I dropped back to like 9th or 8th and just had to claw my way back up. So that's what killed me.
All right, but you were still able to claw your way back up from 9th, it looked like, all the way up to 3rd. What was it like driving back through the pack in just a few laps there?
It was stressful, man. It was fun, but it was stressful. It was some good, clean racing up there. It was fun watching them beat and bang for the lead. So I was just trying to pick my line and see what I could do. I'm glad I was able to get back to P3, so I'll take it. I wanted to win. It was there, but I gave it away. But you'll have that in them big-time esports, you know?
Yep, and it's just, we saw it. Just one mistake can cost you the race, and we saw a lot of those mistakes going around in the last 5 or so laps there.
Yeah, it was loose. in the corners. If it wasn't loose, it was tight. You weren't having a good clean run through the corners. It was either one. So it was definitely fast though.
Well, yeah, it definitely looked like it was a tough one to drive, but we're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Yes, sir. I want to thank Florida Academy, Enchanted Oaks RV Park, Vermont Diecast, birdrap.com, Rebel Racing Network, My World of Whiskey, TriStar Property Maintenance, and they're sponsoring the race. Appreciate them boys and the sponsors and keeping this league going. I want to thank the admins that keep it going as well. I want to thank you guys up in the booth. Excited to watch this. I want to thank my teammates over at Slightly Dangerous Racing. They did a good job tonight. I know Christian got caught up in something, but good rebound for Big, and he got back up to second. And I want to shout out Trevor. He was able to break this SDR record, so finally got somebody else winning. And one more, I want to shout out my wife, of course. Love you. Thank you for letting me putting up with me and let me do this. So I appreciate it, boys.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, buddy, and we will see you back here next week. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
Good run tonight, Dylan.
Appreciate you.
All right. And once again, that was Dylan Picklesheimer. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Jeremiah Nelson. Jeremiah, it's Austin and Tim up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let Tim take this one. I think he's got a little bit more experience than me in the interview department.
All right, Jeremiah, great run tonight for sure. What was the difference in the race there, specifically on that last restart, where you were able to really keep it up front there?
Man, it just really just positioning. The two tires, I was scared of the two tires, and it really loosened the car up. And I went off into the corner, and I about lost it. I about wrecked, and that put me back a row. And then a caution come back out. But I mean, I thought the car finished where it should have. I'm happy with a good run.
Yeah, a couple of those restarts in a row looked like maybe you had the timing just a little bit off on the leader in the restart zone, but that last restart, you took off like gangbusters and you were able to stay with them a little bit longer. Is that something that you learn restart after restart?
Oh, absolutely. You kind of learn people's tendencies, in the restart zone and what they like to do, and really, and who you got behind you pushing you. You really don't know if somebody's going to try to take it 3 wide, or it's just you don't really know how it's going to fall. But you do learn on some tactics. But I'm happy with P2 tonight.
All right. Now, who are those people that you want to thank for this run tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank the boys back at Slightly Dangerous Racing. We've been working on our cars and making them a lot faster, and being in the lab and just working hard and to find some more speed, and also I want to thank the sponsors of the race, Florida Academy, Enchanted Oaks RV Park, Vermont Diecast, birdrap.com, Rebel Racing Network, My World of Whiskey, and TriStar Property Maintenance. And I want to thank Versa for sponsoring the race tonight.
That's a solid second place run tonight for Jeremiah Nelson. Good points tonight as well. And definitely a great job out there. Congratulations on the second place finish. Go ahead.
I want to thank you boys up in the booth. And I want to thank the league owner, Shine. I call him Shine. But thank you, boys, and everything y'all do.
I appreciate you. Great run tonight, Jeremiah. Good job.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, and once again, that was Jeremiah Nelson taking home P2 tonight. But we're going to move on to our big winner, Trevor Quesenberry. I really hope I've been saying that right this whole time. We get him moved up here. Trevor, it's Austin and Tim up in the booth. You got us?
Yep.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win here tonight and being the first driver to break the Slightly Dangerous racing streak. How does it feel, man?
Yeah, it seems like those guys just always put it together correctly. So, just execution. Me and Jeremy were fighting it out there. I was trying to save fuel. My car got stuck in neutral. I don't know how that happened, but that's how he got to my side there and started dooring each other a little bit. So just hard racing, and I'm glad I got it done.
All right, you definitely did. Now, when you saw Corey Rainey hit that wall there, when you were sitting there racing with him, what was going through your mind?
He was gonna come down and take me out. I didn't expect to get by him like that. I know he was really like loose, but also tight. How he was firing it off just to try to keep all of us on fresher tires behind him. I don't even know how he got in that situation to where he got the lead because unless he pitted there somehow and still came out in the front. But I didn't expect to see him stay out, or I don't even know what happened there, but I didn't expect him to be leading there.
So he actually, it looked like he tried to short pit there. Yes, we were talking about it on the broadcast right before, I believe it was the first caution in stage 3 came out. We were talking about how, we were not expecting too many more cautions, and then it turned into a caution fest. But Corey Rainey had come in just 2 laps before that caution, but was able to stay on the lead lap. What was your pit strategy going to be going into stage 3 before those cautions came out?
I was really hoping that it would run green, but I also was hoping we'd get a caution like we did, so I wouldn't have to worry about pitting early and then they come out in front of me, or me pitting later and then they come out in front of me. I just didn't want to get stuck behind anyone again because the air is just that hard. I already started it off with qualifying like P5, and I was not happy about that.
All right, and how big was the aero advantage? We saw you closing that gap up with Dylan Pickles, Simer, and really being competitive with him in stages 1 and 2, and then it seemed like your car would just kind of stall out. How big of an advantage was the clean air?
Yeah, it was a really big advantage. That's why I wanted to qualify well, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened there in qualifying. But yeah, I'd catch up to Dylan. I was trying to save a little bit of my tire because I felt like he was pushing pretty hard, but I eventually said I got to try something at some point because the stage was coming up, and the way the league has the fuel set, it didn't have it set up right for this track because it's so much bigger. But so we all, if you didn't save hard there, like my teammate, he ran out of fuel on that run on the first stage, and that's not really usual. So that was unfortunate, but I would catch up to Dylan, and yeah, my nose just wouldn't turn there after I got behind him.
Speaking of clean air, Trevor, on that last restart, you were on the front row outside of Corey, and you had Jeremiah behind you. Nice clean air, and it looked like maybe you and Jeremiah had the best timed restart of the day. That inside line seemed to be taking off. Is that just something that you were learning as the race was going on, or were you just trying to time it perfectly to go for it?
I was really trying to time it well because as soon as the caution came out, I was like, oh, I'm second now. I'm screwed because usually third gets the run there, but Al had I don't know what happened on his restart there, but he didn't shift as quick as normal, so that allowed me to I was still side by side with the leader, but yeah, I mean, I was on fresh tires and I was on his outside there.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, man. We are going to let you get on out of here and start that celebration. Pucker up because you got some bricks to kiss, and then you're off to the TriStar Property Maintenance Victory Lane. Before we let you get on down there, though, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, huge thanks to On Point Sportsbook Casino. They helped me out a lot here in this league, so I really appreciate them for that. Shout out to Corey, Tyler, all of them taking a chance to put me on their team. Florida Academy for just sponsoring the team overall. Dubby for the energy and stuff. Vermont Diecast, Throttled Sim Productions, My World of Whiskey, Florida Academy, Enchanted Oaks, Bird Raps. You guys for the broadcast. You do a great job. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks to everybody who helps me out here.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here next week at Laguna.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was Trevor Quisenberry taking home the win here tonight. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results. And I'm going to take a deep breath and get through this here. So once again, Trevor Quisenberry taking home the win. Jeremiah Nelson finishes second. Dylan Picklesheimer in third. Trevor Yates in fourth. Daniel Holloway will come home fifth. Corey Rainey in sixth. Nicholas Warner finishes seventh. Dave Mayberry in eighth. Ninth was Tyler Green. Seth LaCroix comes home 10th. Madeline Jackson scores her best finish of the season in 11th. Thomas Lavierde in 12th. Mike Hill will come home 13th. Richard Smith in 14th. Chet Sellers comes home 15th. Stephen Alesse finishes 16th. 17th was Storm Strube. And 18th, we had Dalton Gregson. 19th, Al Likens. Coming home 20th will be Eric Rodman. 21st, Corey Yoakum. 22nd was Jason Werbesquez. And 23rd, we had Christian Rhodes. Rob Robertson comes home 24th. 25th was Eric Lorielli. 26th, Dawson Price. And then rounding out your field in 27th was Tyler Hurt. So once again, thank you guys for tuning into the Rebel Racing Network and the Florida Academy Cup Series. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe because we will be here. We will be here live next Thursday night, live from Laguna. But before that, we do have the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series next Wednesday evening at 8:30. Make sure you tune in for that. You do not want to miss that. That is set to be a good one. And once again, hit that like, follow, subscribe button, and we will see you back here next week. Until next Wednesday, this is Austin and Timothy signing off. Have a good night, everyone.